Hey Cornerstone, happy Friday. I've got your verse for the day. We're in Colossians chapter 1. Turn with me if you will. I want to set this up by saying this. My mother-in-law used to have a few different dogs. She had a couple of Boston Terriers, fantastic little guys. She had a Chihuahua that only liked her and he didn't like anybody else. But those three dogs got along very well together. No problems. They knew who was the top dog. They knew who was the boss until my little dog came to visit. We had a little black poodle named Willie, and he'd come in and it would be pandemonium for a few minutes. There's food put down, and yeah, there'd be pandemonium until the other dogs realized that my dog was the top. When Jesus came on the scene, he was walking into a scene, he was walking into a culture where everything seemed to make sense. We know what we're doing. We have sacrifices, we have rules, we have a system, we know what to do. Yet the sin problem isn't being solved, but hey, we're comfortable with what we're doing. It works well for us. And he explodes in and he completely challenges all of that. Check this out, Colossians chapter 1. Paul is excited about this, and he wants to demonstrate the hugeness, the vastness of what is going on with Jesus coming on the scene. So here, he is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For by him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or powers, authorities or rulers. All things were created by him and for him. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together. Now this is monumental. He is before all things. He is above all things. He is the top. He is the King of kings, the Lord of lords. There is no one like him. No one can satisfy like Jesus. And so when he turns up and going, let's say, to the temple, and he sees the money changers, and he goes out of his mind. He starts throwing tables over and whipping people and getting people out, clearing the temple, because he knew that this thing that they're doing was despicable to God. He was coming to make the change and to solve the problem. You and me, we try to solve our problems all the time. We try to cover over our sin. We try to make it good. We try to appease people. We try to smooth everything out. And Jesus says, no, that's my job. I've come to make things perfect. I've come to make you perfect. There is grace to be found in the supremacy of Jesus. When we serve a God who is above all things and before all things, he's created all things and all things exist because of him. And we realize that, and we let that filter down through our being, that I can allow the King of the universe, I can allow the Creator God, I can allow the Redeemer of my soul to come into my heart and to set things aright. Everything begins to change. So when we come to chapter 3, Paul starts talking about the paragraph title for this section, the NIV. It says, Rules for Holy Living. And I think, well, Pastor Mike, didn't you say that there's no more rules anymore? Well, there's not, because we want to have this natural obedience and natural flow with Jesus. Since he is so big and so awesome, I want to come under him. I want to, as we said the other day, be a slave to Christ, a slave to righteousness. So he says this, since then you have been raised with Christ, since God has done everything on your behalf, let's do this one thing. Let us set our hearts on things above. If God is coming down from above to do great things in us, let's set our heart on him in light of all that he's done, in light of all that he's doing, in light of all the ways that he's moving in us. Let's set our hearts on him. Read Colossians chapter 1, 2, and 3. Put it through the lens of how great God is, of how supreme Jesus is, and how that can affect your life today and all week long. All right, Cornerstone, we'll see you tomorrow. God bless you very, very, very much.